I think we're getting less likes every time we upload a reel.
Yeah.
This keeps getting worse. Like the way we are dressed and our background, it just keeps getting worse. Every time I edit, I'm like, how did we do that?
And we're losing this room in a month as well.
So we're gonna even lose the room. Yeah, because it's gonna become our podcast studio is gonna be turned into a toilet. This is how you know it wasn't a great studio in the first place. Yeah, it's could be writing jokes right now.
I mean, I haven't really been able to. I haven't focused on jokes in the last couple of days. It's not because I'm on like apps again, like Field.
I've never expected you're gonna say that.
Yeah. And it's difficult to focus because like it's kind of. Have you read like Edgar Allan Poe, of The Telltale Heart?
A bit, but not a lot.
So there's a story called The Telltale Heart. I can't remember the situation in which, but I think someone kills someone and then they bury a heart under the floorboard, and then like psychosomatically they hear the beating of the heart, and it kind of drives them insane. So they have to like.
So it's a story about guilt.
Yeah, and they eventually kind of have to. They give it and say, "I did it. I killed them. I can't take the madness anymore."
And then they still hear the beating. It's like, I confess. Why is the beating still there? Because the heart's under the floor. Take the heart out. The police comes, takes the heart out. Well, we could have done that.
You didn't need to confess. You had a living heart.
The stupidest criminal in the world. The guy was alive. That was why the heart was beating.
So I have a sexually available version of that, where it's just like that. There's the constant promise of people I could be speaking to.
Yeah, and
so it's hard to focus on anything else.
And if you look at the world through evolution, their point of view, everything we do is to mate between each other. So comedy that you're writing, is the goal of comedy is to mate with ladies.
Yeah.
But you have the ladies. You have them in your phone. So what's the point of
else is
whatever you're doing? You're cooking when there's food fucking on the table.
I've always thought that with kink clubs.
Kink clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very British thing.
Kink clubs.
Well, it's not East European.
Yes, it's more like Eastern European stuff. It's because like everyone's like primary motivation is to be loved, basically. So I've been to like one kink club ever in Berlin, but it's very funny to watch people like walk along in their like hands and feet in like latex with like a hole where their like arsehole is in their latex shorts, and thinking like the sole motivation is they're all thinking, God, I wish someone loved me.
I just need someone.
They're all just crawling around thinking, love me, love me, love me.
And this is the expression that they...
Yeah, and they found the wildest way.
There's so many filters in their head that keeps them away from love, but this is how they get to it.
Yeah, there's so many like degrees removed from it, but they're on like a swing in like a cow costume, just being like flung around by 8 guys, and all their somewhere in the recess of their mind is just, God, someone love me, please. But yeah, like sex it's not taboo anymore. What's taboo is the acceptance of fear.
You say anymore, but I think it goes because people are like, oh, it's progressive to now we're very progressive because we accept sex, but I think it doesn't come like I don't think the society is going towards more acceptive of sex. I think the society has always been like this. Like Romans were so acceptive of sex, and then it kind of went down, and then it was coming back. I think it really. I don't think. Do you think it's a sign of progress to be acceptive of sex, or is it just like something that comes and goes?
Well, I was reading because I have to read for like a kid I teach because I do tutoring. And
you, how are you gonna connect this? I wonder.
We're doing the Canterbury Tales. Have you read the Canterbury Tales? So it's like Middle English. It was written in the 1340s. 1540s. 1340s. And one of the stories is it's called The Wife of Bath. It's like the tale of the wife of Bath. And it's just this woman talking about how much she loves sex and how she uses sex as like a weapon in her marriage, and she's been married to like 5 guys.
Did you decide that the kid needs to learn this? Oh, you're gonna love this.
It's like, can we do Romeo and Juliet? No, we're talking about this whore Talk about this 14th century
Romeo and Juliet
whore.
is not progressive enough. How old is the kid?
18. It's like an A level. I think she's like 18.
Yeah, Shakespeare is interesting. But have you heard of sluts?
Medieval sluts. and I'm just condemning it the whole time. This is awful. She's wrong.
You're not even being like, oh, this is progress.
Yeah.
It's like, if any of your classmates do this behavior, shame them. Shame these ladies.
She's a demon. She's a demon woman.
The woman, the mother opens the door and you go, to be or not to be? And then she closes the door, a slut.
She gets like an F on her A level. She just writes like whore.
Wait, is it a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, it really changes everything.
It changes the dynamic. Anyway, so it's this woman, and the kind of two thematic elements of it is partly her kind of like open sexual discourse, and then partly condemning the church. And the interesting thing is that like in the Middle Ages, no one cared about the sexual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, oh my God, she's talking openly about the church, and the whole stuff about her saying, oh, I can have sex whenever I want, is like, nah.
Oh, really? Because I thought that it came hand in hand. Like you couldn't be a slut because it was against the church.
No, it didn't. Like no one really cared. And then
yeah, because it's like when you read the books from medieval ages, men just walk into a tavern, right? And there is a dwarf and a whore in every tavern, and no one cares.
That was like the name of pubs. You know, now it's the Swan and two things.
Yeah, the Queen's Head or something.
Yeah, it's like the whore and dwarf.
Because they're inside.
The whore and three dwarves.
And then one of them dies, the whore and two dwarves. It changes names. But now I go through the... there's in Highbury, Nillington, there's a bar called The Famous Cock. No cocks inside. No famous cocks, at least. But I think the problem with sex positivity right now is that we made... Like, it's okay. We're normalizing to be a sex worker, but we're not normalizing visiting one. All the sex workers, like, they think that their clients are losers, right? It's like, imagine, like, you went to CEX and the people working there were like, nerd! Fucking nerd. What are you, like, video games? You
like everyone at CEX is, like, beautiful.
Yeah, no one's gaming. No one likes anime.
There's like the same people that work in, because everyone who works in coffee shops now is really hot.
Yeah.
Like all baristas seem to be exclusively like beautiful people.
You know why is that? I think I have a theory. Is because all the people who are kind of hot now think that they can get famous, and then they invest all their time into shitty degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like every coffee shop. I think I had a bit about this one. But like every coffee shop is just like 11 people that went to like art school or like dance school.
Yeah, and it's like
then they all think they're gonna make it out.
Yeah, because I walk into a coffee shop every time, and like I don't want to take my girlfriend there. It's just because the guy behind the counter is like always like 6'5" guy who pulls off having a crop top.
Yeah,
like it's like, how can you pull it off? And he's like just leaning over. He's like, well, what would you, frappuccino? It's like, leave my girlfriend alone. Wait, how did we come? It's like you teaching that girl about being a slut.
Yeah, it's
Did you finish that thought?
It's just the up and down nature of sexual progressiveness.
How old is the girl that you were teaching?
17, but I think it's probably weird to talk about it.
Yeah, because our new Macedonian listeners might know her. The 2% of Macedonians. Hey, what's Macedonian language? Would it be Spanish or Macedonian?
No,
I'm so sorry.
Macedonia is in Eastern Europe.
One of us. One of us.
You don't even know your own people.
I was listening to a Russian band lately. I listened to them, and I went on just to watch some live videos because it's a guy who died in like the 80s. Like he started rock music in Russia. Yeah. And then he died 28. He just fell asleep in a car. And now they're not even drunk. Not even drunk. No alcohol, no drugs in the system. Just fell asleep in the car and died.
That's the lamest rock death.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's fine for Diana.
Yeah.
But for that guy.
Yeah.
Really, you survived 3 overdoses, but not riding a car.
Yeah. I was thinking I think Chernobyl is like the best thing that ever happened to Ukraine.
Well, made them famous.
Well, I think it must have given them like superpowers.
Well, I think
because there's no other way they can be winning. I think they all have like special powers, and they're not telling us.
Yeah, they're keeping it secret that they don't need the special equipment to see in the dark.
Yeah, they've all got X-ray vision.
It's like we think we are seeing footage from drones. No, it's Ukrainians. It's just the Ukrainian gliding, dropping drones.
It'd be so terrifying as like a Russian soldier to walk across the boundary, and they're just Ukrainians flying. They're just like they're just circling you like vultures.
It's like they're shooting Ukrainians. They're just catching bullets.
It's like X-Men. They just got like laser vision. They're just like hitting people as soon as they come in.
That's so funny. Yeah, there's actually a lot of footage. I've watched a lot of combat footage on Reddit. There's a lot of footage of Ukrainians killing Russians, but just like from so close up.
Yeah.
And there's comments.
And they all seem to be moving at super speed.
Well, there's comments saying that on Reddit, it's like, are Ukrainians invisible? And now I'm like, maybe. Well, okay. Another theory in support of this theory, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck did Japan became such a superpower after the World War II?
Yeah, they've all got super speed.
Yeah, it's because the radioactivity from the Hiroshima.
They became so agile and nimble.
Yeah, they're just really good workers.
Yeah.
Their superpowers are very different. They're
really lazy on the work aspect of it.
Their superpowers are just being great accountants.
They can all read. They just got super reading. Just like whiz through books.
Yeah, we tried with the 19th century Russian superpowers. They real bombed. It's like, another one, guys. How about this one? More relevant, zeitgeisty?
We're following up with 20th century Japanese powers.
It's like every reel is just gonna be us discussing different superpowers from different era.
20th century Japanese powers. Workman.
Oh, yeah. Devotion to the manager man. Just referencing our own reels. Yeah. Also talking of sex and sex positivity. This is a bit related to the what's the girl that we were discussing today? Shirley Jackson.
Yes.
Shirley Jackson. So her husband said, you know what her husband said?
Yeah.
He said that he didn't believe in monogamy, so he just cheated on her all the time with his students.
Yeah.
And it's like I love the phrasing of that.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I don't want to do monogamy.
Yeah.
He said there's no such thing. You know, in Manchester there was this very prolific rapist who raped only men, and he was from Philippines. And I read about him on Wikipedia.
I love it. You know, the Philippines has a remember the boxer from the Philippines?
The what?
The famous boxer from the Philippines.
The famous boxer? No.
Oh,
it's not Mike Tyson.
Manny Pacquiao.
No.
Oh, okay, so he was like this really famous boxer from the Philippines, and he was the guy that was meant to like be able to take down Floyd Mayweather. The Philippines has like a very particular culture where mostly the women like work.
Oh.
It's a more like women-fronted culture because a lot of women moved over to America in like the 50s in like a very particular, like America went there to get women, and a lot of Philippine women work in, I think, particularly healthcare in the US. So a lot of women have gone abroad and send money back to the men.
I didn't know that.
So in the Philippines, like there's a very particular male culture of like emancipated men who are like basically house husbands, and their women are like in the States or like wherever abroad. Like even like in the UK, there are lots of like Philippine women come and work, and they're getting money sent back, and the men have to raise the children.
I like that.
So Manny
sounds good.
So Manny Pacquiao was like so exalted as a boxer because he was like this figure of like male authority, and like and it's like, yeah, we have a fighter.
Like
we have like a big, strong fighting guy, and so the country fucking loved him.
He's like, this is finally not a female boxer.
Yes, it's finally like a man standing up. So it's funny that
it would be so funny if Mayweather was beaten by a female Philippine box.
Manny Pacquiao couldn't do it. And then
His wife comes around. And he's like, let me handle this.
his wife would just work. She's not really a boxer. She's just working in a hospital. She just come one punch, pow! Manny, come look after the...
And then everyone's sad. The Philippines are sad.
Americans are sad. Manny's just in the corner frying an egg. He has to immediately go home. But it's funny, so that so Manny Pacquiao was really exalted as this male figure of strength. So it's great that there are two male Philippines heroes, and one is a Philippine boxer and the other is a rapist in Manchester.
I don't know if it's really emancipating the culture.
Who's raping other men to prove how dominant he is in Philippines culture.
He's the most prolific rapist in the UK. 200-something victims. He's the most prolific one.
In I think Manila's the capital of the Philippines. I think in a square in Manila, there's two statues. And it's one of Manny Pacquiao and one of a male rapist in Manchester, and they love them equally.
Yeah,
except they like Manny slightly less because he lost to Mayweather.
Well, I think I've mentioned this, maybe not to you, but in Manchester we used to do comedy in this venue called Joshua Brooks.
Yeah,
and then we were doing open mics there every Thursday, and then he got the rapist got caught during the period of me doing the open mics there.
Yeah,
and then we found out that most of his victims were from the Joshua Brooks bar. For 2 years he was doing that, for more, right? And then we were there every week. None of us were in danger.
Yeah,
none of us. We were actually kind of offended.
Why didn't the Filipino Dharma like me?
None of us got even, everybody had a story with him. Oh, he used to be here. He used to come around, walk around. He talked to me. He talked with me. All the guys had a story.
Yeah.
None of the comedians had a story. We were always there, never noticed the guy.
Yeah.
And then basically, so he got caught.
I wonder if it's the same time that Manny Pacquiao lost.
And it's when he got caught.
It's the worst month in Philippines national history.
They didn't even know there was COVID. It was bigger problems.
There's a national minute of silence as he loses a trial and Manny Pacquiao lost.
It would be funny if in the Philippines they all knew about how many victims. They were like, how many can he do?
Yeah, every victim was like, ah! they're clapping for the carers, but it's him.
There's a national countdown of victims. Oh man, I don't think we can say that.
It's fine. It's fine because it's the Dave Chappelle joke. It's fine because they're men.
Yes, this Dave Chappelle's joke is it doesn't matter.
No one cares
about
men.
The men just have to shake it off.
Yeah, I love that you started this premise by saying more stuff on sexual progressivism.
Oh, so we were going there.
And it's a Filipino rapist. That's the height of
no, I think
how
it
progressive
was.
a way.
Oh no, it was on the premise was on the I don't believe in monogamy.
Oh, okay.
So that's gonna.
This guy doesn't believe in monogamy. This guy does not believe in monogamy, man.
It's been 10 minutes, but the premise is still that. So basically, everyone in Philippines found out that he was a gay rapist, and his family, it's obviously very Philippines are pretty homophobic.
Yeah.
And then you know what his family said when they found out is that it cannot be. They said we don't believe in homosexuality. So they just denied. They didn't believe in it as a thing. It's they're talking about it's moon landing.
Yeah.
It's what about gay porn? Have you seen what is that then?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in it, was this made in Hollywood basement? All gay porn?
I was going to say I love that with the moon landing that his Filipino family has the same theory that it was just Kubrick filmed this
all
Filipino
the gay porn. Kubrick made all the gay porn.
They're looking at The Shining for references of the. There's a Manchester gay rapist.
Can you see the coloring scheme is similar?
Yeah. The carpet looks the same as the Josh O'Connor.
Actually, I didn't have a chance to talk about this, but this is something that happened today on the way here when I went to Lidl. I saw a homeless guy. He got caught stealing.
Yeah.
And he made quite a ruckus.
Yeah.
It was so much security just taking shit away from him. He was holding on to the shit he stole even after getting caught. And there was a group of people we were just watching that unfold.
Yeah.
And then when I exited Lidl 2 minutes later,
Yeah.
He was just playing music and dancing. And I was like, man, if I got caught stealing, like, I would rethink my life.
Yeah.
He got caught stealing. 2 minutes later, he's moved on.
Yeah. He's bounced back. So
He's like, you cannot dance and regret at the same time.
yeah.
Like, he's just, life's too short, man. It was so funny.
Yeah. It was like, it's kind of like, yeah, like a bit I'm doing at the moment is about like a homeless guy I saw who just like spinning and screaming and was just like holding a plastic bag and going around. And there is the thing of like, are they somewhere happier than we are? Because like a guy that steals and then 2 minutes later is dancing, like,
It's
like
so, he's
some
so
people,
in
some
the
people look at
present.
him and think, oh, this poor guy. But like, in his head, he's doing better than we are.
Yeah, it's like I break a glass at
Yeah.
home. Like, if I drop a glass,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it makes me like regret things and question my character.
Yeah.
This guy commits a thing that is so much worse,
Yeah.
and he's already forgiven himself.
I don't think I've danced in years. I haven't been happy enough to dance.
And yeah,
Nothing I've done has made me
want
want to dance.
And this guy just danced after committing robbery
Yeah, this
and
guy
getting caught.
He does something objectively bad and he dances. Imagine how happy he is when he has a win.
Imagine what his reaction was when his child was born. He went on such a bender, he became
Yeah.
homeless.
He's still on a bender. It's been 3 years. He was so happy.
Also, isn't it mad that they just let him go immediately?
Yeah.
He's like, he's living a video game, you know? Oh, you failed, try again.
What it is, life, it's just Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
for him. Like, there's no
repercussions.
there's no punishment.
There's no repercussions. They just let him go.
Yeah.
I don't think they even like banned him.
But it's like what's like you hit someone with your car, what's gonna I'll send you to prison. Oh great, a house. It's like, yes, thank you.
Oh, I'm not gonna freeze to death during winter.
Regular meals and a roof.
Yeah, and friends. I know these people.
It's just like it's not a good video game. I'm not saying it's a good life, but it is a video game.
It is a video. Yeah, it's
There
a
are
video
almost
game.
no repercussions.
It's a video game where the objective is to survive,
Yeah,
but it's still you still get to try again.
yeah,
It's like it's called save scumming in video game. Is
Yeah.
when you save a lot so you can reload if you make a mistake.
yeah.
He's living. He's a living embodiment of save scumming.
He's just playing a game on really hard mode, where he's been given no resources.
He has to really like in some games when you choose the beginning, you can choose the rock bottom. When you're so good at the game, you know you'll make it out.
He's trying to go for like cups on PS5. He's trying to get all the cups.
It's like platinum.
Yeah.
He's platinum the game.
He's trying to He's playing like Red Dead Redemption, but you get nothing at the beginning.
Yeah,
You have to start from the complete bottom.
doesn't even know how to shoot.
Yeah. And that is what you do in a video game. Like,
He's like addicted to crack. Just like to do any kind
society
of quest.
hates you. No one looks at you when you talk to them. Like every character ignores you when you ask for help.
Yeah, it's like you have AIDS.
Yeah. And what you saw is like a video game move. Like you go in, you steal, it doesn't work, and then you just press the button to dance. So then it's just like outside.
Yeah, it's like emoticon.
Yeah, but you just run and steal. They throw you. You just dance.
And he had friends.
You have two moves. It's like A for steal, B for dance. That's all you can do. It's just like he just jumps in the middle. So the story is it's The Lottery by Shirley Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It was written in 1948.
I again went through her wiki page.
Yeah.
So she really suffered from anxiety a lot.
Yeah.
Her whole life, she was just taking so much anti-anxiety medicine. She had like agoraphobia. She was afraid of walking outside, and no one knew why. And then it turns out that her doctor, for her weight loss,
Yeah.
her doctor prescribed amphetamine. So she was taking amphetamine
That's
for
so funny.
years.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine you go to a doctor now and it's like, I'm a bit overweight.
Yeah.
And instead of being the doctor's like, oh, count your calories, it's like, have you heard of amphetamine? And then because she was taking amphetamine, she was getting anxious. Another doctor's like, oh, why is she getting anxious?
Yeah.
So they were giving her the anxiety medicine.
Yeah.
And I think the side effects of that medicine is like eating more.
Yeah.
So it was just a cycle.
You need to take more amphetamines.
And just, they were just feeding her so many drugs. She died 48.
Yeah.
And
Not really young.
I think amphetamines had something to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a very controversial story when it came out. To give away the ending, kind of, just to make it explain why it's controversial. So you should read it. If you want to read it before, read it now and then come back.
Yeah, it's going to be more interesting.
Montenegrin audience.
I will Google translate the story into your language, whatever it is, and then there's going to be a link on the description that says for Montenegro listeners.
Just pictures. It's just a picture book.
There's going to be some communism in there. I'll put it in.
It's just 12 pages of hammer and sickles. We got you, boys. Communism never dies.
It's just links to secret groups from communism. This is how we recruit.
It's just Mao's Little Red Book. We just sent everyone Little Red Book. Yeah, so to give away the end of the story, so read it if you don't want to know. So the end, it culminates in a woman getting stoned. So yeah, so it was really controversial at the time, and she got like hundreds of letters. So the New Yorker itself got loads of complaints. She got like death threats and I hate mail. So loads of these kind of complaints. And the funny thing, so it got banned. The South African, the Union of South African Congress or something, banned it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because there were still parts of Africa that were using stoning as a punishment. So it's funny that like in America they banned it because they're like, this is gross, this is disgusting, how can you talk about this? And then in Africa they banned it. It's like, oh guys, what's wrong with stoning? Why are you shitting on stoning?
So she was getting mail from both sides. You know, she would open a mail and she was like, this is horrific, I don't want to, stuff like this shouldn't be written about.
Yeah.
And then the other mail is like, you should get stoned.
And then she's got a letter from like Egypt. It's just stones. She's got a letter of little stones.
Self-repellent.
Throw stones at yourself. You witch.
Wow, that's mad. Well, so she also got some mail saying that she's a communist because that whole story, it's about tradition. It's about following tradition blindly. So
and kind of like mob mentality and like scapegoating.
The whole story is that there is a lottery being held every year.
Yeah. And
in the beginning, we don't know what's going to happen, but we spoiled it to you. She gets stoned. The person who wins the lottery gets stoned.
Yeah.
Which it just shows that we don't question rituals a lot.
Yeah, this kind of blind faith that we go with.
Which actually reminds me of, I've read this study about monkeys.
Yeah.
So that someone did a study about monkeys. They put a lot of monkeys in the room, and then they put a ladder in the middle of the room. Yeah. And on top of the ladder, there was a banana. Yeah. But every time a monkey climbed the ladder, they would electrocute the monkey.
Yeah.
I think it was experiment.
Was this just you and your...
Or maybe the people were like...
So you just stole 4 monkeys and just like zapped them.
And I'm like, what would happen? Is it literally what would happen? There's no hypothesis.
I love that scientist is such like a renowned job, but it's just like 4 kids that were bullied at school zapping monkeys, and then doing like a research paper. This is what happens if I stab a monkey.
And then they find something out, and then they pretend that was the hypothesis.
Yeah, and then people are like, "Does it matter what repercussions it has?" No, just
no. But we wanted to prove that it hurts when you electrocute.
I wanted to see if monkeys didn't like electricity
and loved bananas. Both were yes. Yes, they do.
A firm yes.
So what?
Another win for science.
Take that, superstition.
Or it's just that when you see like 8 scientists looking at like an octopus and it's in, like to see if an octopus can fit in a jar. and then they were just like, oh, awesome. An octopus can fit in a jar.
Yes, you can.
And outside there's just like a homeless guy like on meth. and we haven't really figured out how to get people off like meth.
But all the funding is going to the scientists putting. Oh my god!
So, still, the cure to get people off meth is to give them a slightly less addictive drug.
Yeah,
but we know exactly the like behavioral impacts of jars and octopuses,
and that we know that they can get out.
Yeah.
Like that's the takeaway of that science. I've read that.
If we force them into a jar, it can escape.
They can escape. They unscrew the jar.
Yeah. And it's also interesting, just as like a vaguely related thing that happened. I went to see Arthur. Do you know Arthur Miller? He's a playwright.
No.
So he wrote a play. Well, he wrote loads, but he wrote one play called The Crucible, which is just about the Salem witch trials. Mm-hmm. So just as kind of related to, like, we're talking about like people following blind tradition and like scapegoating, and just like the idea of like, them like burning women as like scapegoat and then to like appease God in some way. Yeah,
they used to do. It's weird how people used to do it on goats.
Yeah.
You know, and other animals, and then in about medieval ages, they're like, let's use women.
Yeah, this isn't enough.
The goats are cool.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of goats just like. Yeah. Oh, that's that.
No, yeah, I just had a word to say.
I didn't finish with the monkeys.
Right, and all I wrote in my book was Salem bitch trials.
You wrote the books, you said?
No, I just wrote a book called Salem. No, I just wrote my book Salem bitch trials.
Salem bitch trials.
It's funny because you switch the B and the W, and instead of Salem witch trials, you get Salem bitch trial.
That's fucking comedy.
That's comedy.
Here we go.
It's just about comedy's just about switching B's and W's, man.
It's puns and switching first letters.
Salem bitch trials.
Salem bitch trials. Getting stoned. I'm high. I can fucking feel the dopamine I'm gonna get from likes when we upload this reel.
I can feel Apollo calling.
I fucking hope you have tight 10 because you're doing Apollo.
We upload a clip called Salem bitch trials. We're gonna go big, man.
Monkeys. I didn't. It would be mad if I didn't finish that because
what happens if we burn monkeys on stakes? How do they like it?
Because it's like. It would be mad if I didn't finish that thought, and all I wanted to say is that they did that to monkeys with no connection to the story we just had.
Very quickly, another interjection. Just to break...
We have 20 minutes! No,
just to break the rhythm more. There was because... And this also vaguely relates to an episode we did a while ago, as if anyone's following every episode.
The Macedonians are not, they're new.
So Macedonians, go back to episode, we talked about crows. Someone did an experiment. Crows are one of the smartest animals.
Yeah.
Someone did an experiment where I can't remember what they did, but they like teased crows. They like
sounds like they fingered them, but not fully.
They sexually teased.
You want me to put it in? No, fucking edging crows. Come on, put it in.
They stroke their feathers the wrong way, like velvet drapes. They just kind of and it really gets crows excited.
And they get so angry at the fucking scientist. It's like, do it.
What happens if a scientist kisses a crow's neck? It licks the neck of a shaved crow. What if the
scientist does that and then slowly, teasingly goes down to the crow's nipples and then just licks the nipples gently? What happens?
Just like a teenager in his room, like going down, like getting low on his mum walks. What are you doing? Oh no! It's for science.
What's the hypothesis? What happened?
My science teacher told me I need to arouse this crow. I want to see what happens if I...
The teacher is like, arouse the crow, film it and bring it back.
So a science guy did something to crows. He maybe put them in cages. He annoyed crows. Maybe he shocked them. He did something to crows. Mm-hmm. And then he came back 20 years later.
So the crows were dead because they don't live that long.
No, but or maybe it was 10 years later, but he came back. So this was in Boston or something. And then 10 years later, he went back to the same place and the crows remembered him. And some of
you didn't finish fingering me. It's you.
And some of the crows, kids, they passed it down generationally.
Oh, yeah.
that like we hate this guy, and they like remembered his face. So he went back and the crows like attacked him.
Fuck, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool that crows do that.
So like,
It's like
as a society, the crows remembered this guy, like shocking them or whatever.
Wow, you know, my neighbor once shot my dog. I'm gonna connect this.
That's great.
And my dad.
Just as an experiment.
And my parents. What happens when you shoot a dog?
You shoot a dog.
Through the heart. And my parents were like, they didn't really take any action against this. Like, they shouldn't have done that.
Your parents double than crows.
Yes. That was the premise. My parents are less vindictive than crows.
They forget instantly. Why is the dog limping?
Where's the dog?
Where's the dog?
And why is there the smell of gunpowder in the air?
All right, what's your monkey stuff?
So they did a experiment with monkeys where they put the banana, and then every time the monkeys were climbing the ladder, they would shock.
Yeah.
They would shock all monkeys in the room, not just the one climbing the banana.
Oh, interesting.
To get the banana. And so at one point, the monkeys, like some monkeys were still trying to climb, but the other monkeys were like, fucking get down.
Yeah.
They're shocking us.
Yeah.
And then what they did is like they took one monkey out and put the new monkey in.
Yeah.
And then the new monkey was climbing to reach the banana, obviously.
Yeah.
And then everyone was just pushing it out to not do that.
Yeah.
And then they slowly replaced all of the monkeys.
Yeah.
And then so they had a completely new batch of monkeys. None of them have ever been shocked yet, but they all pushed down.
Interesting.
They didn't know why they were doing it.
Did they see the other monkeys pull them down?
Yes, because they were replaced one by one. So they learned that you need to push a monkey down if it's climbing. Yeah. But slowly, all the new monkeys have never been shocked.
Yeah.
So they still did it, even though no one ever got hurt by climbing.
I think other comics are doing that with my career. Every time they see me go up the ladder, they're like, "No, come on."
Yes, and it's not like they're ever gonna make it.
Yeah,
it's like the monkeys.
And it's new open micers. They circle in and they all
and they push. It's like, and I do that, and I just like, I don't know why. None of us have been to the top. Why are we?
I don't know why. For some reason, I hate your success.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know why.
For all I know, you're gonna share the banana with me, but no, go down.
Yeah, that is just capitalism. It's just like creative industries. We're all just monkeys. As soon as someone gets success, they're like, fuck you.
No,
you don't get the banana. I want the banana.
The capitalism is the other monkey experiment. Have you read about the one where they gave them money?
No.
And then they immediately invented prostitution? So there's an experiment where they gave monkeys money, and then they could exchange money for bananas, and then female monkeys started exchanging sex for money, so they could exchange it for bananas.
It'd be great if like 2 weeks later he walks in and there's like a monkey with a cane and like a colourful hat, and he's just a pimp. He's got like a big fur coat on.
Yeah, and there's a monkey in front of a camera just doing OnlyFans.
And there's a bigger monkey who's like kneecapping the other because they haven't paid. You owe 2 weeks.
There is a monkey that hates her husband for going to see a prostitute monkey, but she also hates the monkey if he's against the prostitute monkey. Okay, so our outro is reading bad reviews. We didn't do it last month because the story didn't have any bad reviews. What a good story. No, it was not famous enough. So Divya Darshani wrote, "The whole village gathers every year to know who should be killed with stones, and people call it lottery? First thought it would be about a lucky person winning some money or any other prize, but it was unfortunately not." Poor Tessie ends up being stoned to death, so the crops will supposedly grow heavily next year. Just made things up. Yeah. And then in bold, she says on the bottom, "I think the author is trying to say that we should not rely on superstitions." It's like she got the self. It's like she has split personality, and the
Yes.
other one writes in bold, and
So-
it's much smarter.
So yeah, so accepts the thematic conclusion of the story, but doesn't like.
Yeah, but I guess it's again they don't like when the title of the story doesn't represent what happens.
Yeah.
It's like it's a lottery, but nobody won. And then okay, a few more.
Yeah.
This guy, there's a link,
Yeah.
and he says, "You can listen to the story here." I didn't like it at all. But yeah, I like this guy's like, make up your own mind.
Yeah. It's great.
There's one more that I liked. 1 second. This one is my favorite. Rosemary said, "I don't think I like short stories." That's it. It's like, just the whole genre.
Yeah. So
Done.
I hated this so much. I don't think I like the form.
Imagine reading a review for like Oppenheimer, and it says, "I don't think I like movies."
This has ruined movies for me. I don't think movies can be good. After watching this, I can't imagine any good film.
At least it was about Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, guys, this is gonna come out. Yeah, I'm doing on my. You say Macedonians, right? I think
Yeah.
in Lithuania we say Macedonians. I'm gonna continue saying Macedonians.
Okay.
Hey, Macedonians, if you swing by London, August 20th, my angel preview. You come down to see me. If you don't speak English, don't come.
It is not sold out.
I have not even tried selling it out yet. I'm
Yeah.
relying purely on sales from this.
Gotta edit this bad boy fast.
It's 20th, yeah. It's not going great.
Oh, you're gonna kill.
I have less material than the last time I did an hour, so
Yeah.
I have less time. But yeah, we'll see. What do you have something to pitch?
Read Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. We'll put a link to it in the description.
And then the Macedonian translation, I'll put a link to there
Yeah.
too. It's gonna be on Google Docs. I'll do it.
It's a pop-up book. This was Nobody Reads Anymore. Thanks for listening. So Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. So it's a really great story because it does bring up all these questions of like blindly following. So if someone in your family picks the like strip with a dot on it, then everyone in your family has to go back and they choose who in the family it is. And like the woman of the family that get picked starts kind of complaining, but not even like about the lottery. She just says that it's unfair. That like
it's the family that got picked.
Yeah,